Manchester Arena played host again this weekend in a magnificent celebration of boxing action, with local hero Anthony Crolla taking on Scotland's three-way world champion Ricky Burns at lightweight. With American MC Michael Buffer and a packed crowd in attendance, the atmosphere was wonderful, and the non-title fight lived up to its superstar billing. It was Crolla, however, who got off to the better start, taking the center ring, looking to push Burns onto the back foot, but neither man was willing to give ground as they stood head to head, trading punches. Burns did manage to find his rhythm in the middle rounds, and his jab started to be more effective. A spiteful uppercut from Burns stopped Crolla in his tracks midway through the fight, but Crolla would not be denied. This always looked an all-action 50-50 fight, and through most of the 12 rounds, it was very hard to separate the two, with no one ever taking complete command. The deciding factor on my scorecard was Crolla was busier and more accurate in what was a non-stop all-action encounter. At the final bell, both lifted their arms in victory, but it was the Manchester man Crolla who took a unanimous decision. A disappointed Burns thought he had done enough, as well he might, but the popular Crolla was most people's pick. Promoter Eddie Hearn was quick to offer a rematch in Glasgow in the new year, which no one would argue with. Birmingham's Sam Eggington, defending his European title for the first time, was left chasing and punching air as France's Mohamed Mamoun lived up to his The Problem nickname. The 23-year-old Eggington, who's been a revelation recently with excellent back-to-back wins over Frankie Gavin, Paulie Malignaggi and Safrino Rodriguez, all by knockout, was hugely disappointing as Mamoun showed his experience and skill to relieve Sam of his hard-earned title by split decision. It was two youngsters, however, that may well have stolen the show in Manchester. Conor Benn looks to step out of the shadows of his legendary father, world champion Nigel, in much the same destructive way, as he stunned the crowd and his opponent Nathan Clark with a quite chilling performance. His opening combination was hurtful and accurate as he rattled Clark in the opening seconds with a 5-punch combination. This was followed by a short, lethal right that dropped Clark for a count. He would hit the canvas once more in a blistering attack before the referee wisely stopped the fight. Bren looks an impressive prospect and will make his US debut in New York on November the 11th. Newcastle looks to have a star in the making as young Lewis Ritson, in only his 13th fight, captured the British lightweight title when he totally overwhelmed the champion, Yorkshire's Robbie Barrett. The corner throwing in the towel in the 7th after a one-sided battering that included 4 knockdowns for Barrett. I was ringside with Olympic gold medalist and world title challenger Luke Campbell, who was suitably impressed, as was matchroom promoter Eddie Hearn. There was plenty of world-class action elsewhere featuring British fighters, as Andrew Selby booked a shot at the WBC flyweight title after winning his eliminator against Mexico's Maximino Flores at the York Hall in London's East End. The Welshman now looks to join brother Lee as a world champion sometime next year. The big news, however, was in Stuttgart, Germany. Chris Eubank Jr., who has promised a lot, finally delivered and booked himself a place in the World Super Series semi-final in emphatic fashion, smashing Turkey's undefeated, highly touted Anvi Yildirim to defeat in 3 one-sided rounds. Eubank dropped Yildirim in the first with an uppercut, forcing him to take a knee. The Turk tried to regroup in the second, but Eubank had his measure and stepped it up in the third. As they both let go with big punches, it was Eubank's speed and accuracy that told, as he landed an exceptional left hook which floored Yildirim heavily, and the referee wisely called it off without a count. Eubank now moves on to the semi-final, where he will face the winner of the all-British class between George Groves and Jamie Cox next weekend at the Wembley Arena, and the Boxing Social team will be there too. From me, Glenn McCrory, and all at Boxing Social, goodbye.